Welcome to episode 207 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This week, we have two of our Twitch stream members in the podcast this week because TBL is off apparently doing better things instead of talking Destiny with us, and Aura's at a show, so you can't really blame the guy.
Yeah.
This week we got Sean Bartley. How's it going, bud?
Good to be here again. How you guys doing?
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming by and hanging out with us.
Always a pleasure.
And T.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome
Not
back.
much. How are you guys?
These two are officially replacing TBL and Aura because they don't want to be on the show. So
They just keep taking too much time off, guys.
We're gonna take people that want to be in the show.
It takes sacrifice.
Well, there goes all the listeners.
Patience pays off.
Sorry.
Oh man! All right, so we have a few things to talk about this week. We've gotten some news from Bungie about the upcoming Solstice of Heroes event.
Yeah.
As well, we have Iron Banner going on this week, and thanks to the games media, we have a couple of articles to talk about as well on some of the upcoming features of Forsaken. So we'll start off with Iron Banner since that one will be, I'm sure, relatively a short topic. Anybody been playing Iron Banner?
Yes, too much of it.
Yeah.
Too much
of
you guys
it.
working on the quest, or what are you guys doing?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to get all the bounties done on all my characters, and yeah, it's not going so bad, but I'm ready to be done with Iron Banner. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's I've been playing for a while, and I started off playing with my clan, and we were a 6-stack. So this is the important part for me when in regards to Iron Banner. Is we started off as a 6-stack, and like we literally, I think I counted 14, 15 games in a row we lost.
Oh wow!
Wow.
As a 6-stack, and we're. I mean, I'm not gonna glorify myself as an incredibly good PvP player, but I'm pretty good and pretty confident in my skill level. And same with my clan. We're all not horrible, but we were getting destroyed. So some of the clan members were like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. This is like a mental health thing. Like, I gotta go. And
That's
I'm like,
that
sure,
hot
whatever.
and spicy skill-based.
And I was,
matchmaking,
100%. And I was I was right there at the end of my quest, just the completing it with the end of it takes a little bit. I was at like 89%. So I'm like, I gotta jump back in and finish this off. And then I was just like, win. Like as soon as I solo queued, it all turned around. And I think it was obviously a little bit of coincidence, but also I don't think a little bit of coincidence. And I think we learned a little bit about that, right?
I think so.
About the skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, I mean they had mentioned something about like full teams and playing against other teams or something.
I can't remember if that was addressed in the TWAB, was it?
I don't think it was addressed in the TWAB. I think it was addressed in a tweet last week.
Yes.
When they talked about like match fairness.
Okay.
I think it was from Cosmo. I have yet to. I don't have that to back me up, so don't exactly quote me on it. But
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I
they said
remember
that-
reading.
I remember
something.
they said they hadn't touched anything regarding this skill-based matchmaking.
yeah.
right,
That was
right.
that.
I think were they referring to that in quick play though, because there was some people that
Yeah.
were talking about that, like quick play, something about it was feeling different, and people thought that the switch was flipped back on, but no,
Yeah.
nothing has been.
Yeah, I'm not
touched.
trying to speculate or anything, but I mean it was a night and day difference from our six stack going into when I started solo queuing.
I think it
Really
was
interesting.
probably taking like the skill level of like your entire team and probably just working with that and finding people of that same skill level. So maybe once you started going in alone, there's probably people with a lower skill.
You calling me a potato, Nem?
I'm calling you good. I'm calling you good.
All right, no,
I'm hearing two different sides here.
I heard potato.
You
I heard
hear
potato.
what you want to
Clearly.
hear.
No, either way, it was.
Yeah.
I heard hard pulsing.
I guess the moral of my story and my entire point was I remember it used to be opposite, right? Everyone used to be like, "Oh, solo Iron Banner queue is just like so painful." I felt like really relieved when I started solo queuing this time around. Actually, I had a little bit of fun in the Iron Banner. So,
So
yeah.
you said you were talking, or you were working on the last part of the quest, right?
Sure.
So, have you guys heard of the cheese to complete that quest?
Yes.
It is
Yes.
pretty
I-
fantastic. I actually,
Yeah.
I may or may not have indulged in a little bit of, that hot and spicy pepper jack cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't about to do all that, so luckily I was having a fantastic time in Iron Banner this time around, and yeah, no, the moment that I got in,
To clarify, this is just the last quest.
it's the
step
the
in the
very
Iron
last
Banner
step.
armor.
So for those,
Last step,
for those of you that don't know, if you're on the last part of the Iron Banner quest, there's a little cheese that you can do. If you are in a 2-win streak, you can it's so dumb. You can queue into pretty much anything.
Yes.
You can queue into like Gambit, you can queue in Quick Play, you can queue in Rumble. And the moment that your evaluating Guardians comes up to like 4 out of 5 or 6 out of 5, if you back out, it will progress your last step for Iron Banner, and
So
it'll give you a percentage.
Yes.
It's a lot.
So-
It's like 25%.
It's a lot. Like,
right?
Seriously?
Yeah, it basically you only have to do it
25?
like 3 or 4 times.
It's insane.
man.
So like I was working on my Titan and got that done, but then when I was working on my Hunter, I unfortunately lost the Valor streak because it immediately queued me up into an ongoing match. So what I did was I made sure when I got another two win streak Valor, instead of queuing up in Crucible, I queued up in Gambit.
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
That way, if I go into a game, I'm not losing my streak. So yeah, and I managed to get my Titan and my Hunter done this week, which was drag. The Hunter was mainly the drag. The Hunter was mainly the drag. The grenade portions on the Hunter, man. Holy shit.
Just
dude.
get skip grenades and toss them down a hallway.
Okay,
You-
so here's the thing.
Easy.
I'm
clap
not a
right
Hunter
in.
main, right? Like I'm not a Hunter main.
yeah.
Like I was that's what I was using. I was using Shinobu's Vow, and I was using the skip grenades. So tried pepper people down with the grenade. I mean with the primary, and then shoot them or throw the skip grenades at them. But I kept coming against one-eyed mask people. So whenever we would trade, they would get an overshield, and the skip grenades would just end up not doing anything. So I'm just sitting there holding that L, like, okay, this is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Dude, so the grenade portion, I actually got that done relatively easy just by doing Shinobus the entire time. I've been having a lot of fun sniping because people are not watching lanes,
Mhm.
and I have a beloved that is longing for your face. It is wonderful.
Love it.
It just
Is
Are
it
you
the
working on the
typical,
revoker?
role that everyone's going for?
yeah, it's snapshot quick draw with
Yeah,
the
that's what I have.
Taskmaster.
Targeting adjuster.
That's what I have. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
So good.
I've just been using that. Dude, I cannot tell you how many warlocks I like hit into submission from their super with it. I can't tell you how many warlocks I knocked out of their little piss puddles out of the corner.
I'm noticing.
like,
I'm
outside of
noticing the
C.
trend. It's just warlocks here. I feel
Yeah,
a little bit offended.
I can't tell you the amount of times that I like reflected something back at a warlock when they like attacked me with the super. It's just been wonderful, guys. I've been having a blast.
Not even mad about it.
I
As a
feel a
warlock.
little bit attacked, but I'm glad you're having a good time.
Yeah, same. It's like, I've gotten more with that weapon. I've gotten more collaterals than I think I've ever gotten
Yeah.
in like the history of my Destiny career in
You had
PvP.
You had a pretty sick clip on Twitter the other day.
Dude, I've had like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've had like 4 or 5 like collateral clips I posted, and I'm like shocked as well when I'm like, what just happened? It's just like
That's
so
pretty
fun.
great.
I'm just glad sniping is like, I know like my wife hates sniping, some of my friends hate sniping. I don't know what
Yeah.
they use, but I'm just glad sniping's like kind of like in the meta right now, and it's
Super viable.
I miss that. Yeah, it's super viable and super
satisfying.
fun.
It's
Oh my gosh, is it
satisfying.
not? Yeah.
It feels
is.
faster. It like for me, it helps me to realize my space a little bit more.
Mhm.
Whereas before I'd go rushing headlong into like just around a blind corner and be completely decimated, and rightly so.
Sure.
But now I'm like watching lanes. Like I'm trying to find little corners where maybe I can find just a sliver.
Yeah, I think it
Mhm.
makes you a better player. Your situational awareness becomes like, you know, a lot
Yeah.
more intense, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean,
Have
that's
you guys
gotta be
been-
nice and all, you know, knowing that you can like one shot someone basically. Finds little
It's-
corners. You could just be a man and use Mida.
You love it. You love Midas so much, T.
So, have you guys been going for
Fight me.
Revoker, or are you,
No, I'm not mad
guys
about
just solid with the Beloved?
I'm going for Revoker. I have the 50 headshots done. I went from 77
Mhm.
to 187 sniper
Okay.
kills today, which is
Nice.
was insane progression. And I
Yeah.
think I'm like 2,700 out of the 3,500 points or something that you need for it.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I just like with it being so forgiving in comp, I'm just gonna work on my hand cannon kills for Luna's Howl.
Luna's Howl. Yeah.
Hope that my comp score goes down so I can, like any gain just chips
Yeah.
away at that Revoker. So it's all in all it's a win-win-win. So I keep saying that and I'm so sorry. It's a win-win-win-win-win for everyone. For me mainly, but
We keep gaining wins here. This is amazing.
All these
day.
wins.
yeah.
I love
Man,
it.
we got to take the wins whenever we can.
Yeah, I Nem, to answer your question too, I have the Revoker. I've had it for a while and I never use it.
Really. Do you prefer Beloved over Revoker?
I just love the Beloved so much. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and like since I have a quick draw, a snapshot quick draw, Beloved, it's like you go back to the Revoker and it's kind of like it takes a little bit too
Mhm.
long to, you know, it's just about the roll. Like I figure if I
Right.
didn't have like such a good roll on the Beloved, then I'd probably use it more. But if
Yeah.
I want to run something in my, you know, like run Luna's Howl, I've been kind of having fun with just playing around, and I've used that with it. But other than that, I'm one of those last word Beloved ones you guys love, I'm sure, in the Crucible. It's a lot.
I'm
of
still
fun.
using an Austringer when I hand cannon.
Yeah.
I have that. I have the Storm rangefinder Austringer thing. Is
Mhm.
Oh man, it's pretty
Oh,
nasty.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nasty. You got to be careful with it because it's a little slow. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
if you don't stick yourself out in the middle of every lane and courtyard, then I mean, yeah, you just got to be careful with it. But it kills quick. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I've been
Just got to
using-
pace your shots with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Exactly.
gotta
That's what I love. I love weapons that you have to pick shots with because I'm like,
Mhm.
those are the types of weapons that you can really get a rhythm with, and I love that. Like the hand cannons that, like Luna's got the super steady, like no kickback feel to
Mhm.
it, but like you know, I'll pick Austringers and stuff like that. Like even
Do
Midnight
you have
Coup.
a Duke? Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you have a Duke?
Duke's
Like
too
a little-
slow. Duke's like ultra slow. Like
Okay.
Duke, Dagger, and those types. Like I'll use them, but they have to have an outlaw on them. So this way you can.
Sure.
Hit
The
your
reload.
kill. Yeah, like kill clip outlaw. I think you can run on a Duke, and that's nasty.
That's what
So
I
yeah.
have, and like I've
Yeah,
been
you
using
have
it
to
lately.
have
It's so
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, you get that reload, and then if you have to re-engage, you get the kill. Usually, sometimes two tap if they're
You
low
can, yeah.
armor.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a spare rations. So last week I worked on my reckoning gear, got that all knocked out of the way, like without having to do 3 weeks. Turns out I did play 1 week during the season of the Drifter, and
The notorious stuff.
yeah, I got all the notorious stuff, knocked that out last week, and somewhere in
Nice.
there I got a really good spare rations.
Oh, what's your
Define
roll?
good.
Let me find it here on the old dim. It has. Looking at it's loading up right now, but it has. It's ricochet rounds, polygonal rifling, with full bore, rifling, ricochet rounds, rapid hit, and moving target.
Okay.
And
That's
I got
pretty
that
good.
with a range masterwork, and it is.
Oh.
I thought you said polygamol. Right.
Polygamol? It is. I can't make the
Well.
joke I want to make.
You guys can think about that joke for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man. that sounds like a solid roll.
Yeah, I was
like
told
it.
on PC it would be a laser. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's bonkers.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the spare rations is. I haven't used mine. when it first came out, like with the Reckoning and everything, everyone was using it, and then people moved on to other stuff too. But isn't that like one of the most meta weapons right now
Yeah.
for like competitive PvP on like both or all the platforms?
I heard so. Sood is a really good PvP player.
Yep.
He's been rocking Thorn, and I've been seeing Thorn in
Mhm.
Crucible a lot more lately. And there's been
Yeah.
a lot of people killing it with the gun. So I think the 150s right now are kind of
Yeah.
hot.
Is there something else about the Thorn that like everyone missed when it initially came out? Because it wasn't. I remember when it was first released, everyone was like, "Oh man, it's trash. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not D1."
It's still
Thorn
no. I mean, I think it's still the fact that like you have to work around the perk, and pick up the orbs for it to be
Okay.
that 2-tap. But no, I mean I've played around with it a little bit, and just having the poison kind of like delay their health regen. It's pretty great. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I haven't played around with it much. Maybe I'll pick it up.
But speaking of the Iron Banner quest, we're kind of gonna get into the TWAB here and there as we go through the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're adjusting a couple of things in the quest for the next Iron Banner, which is going to be the last of the season, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a couple of steps in the current quest that's a little bit annoying. And you heard me talk about one of them earlier on, which is the grenade kills requirement. It's kind of nutty. While you get some progress if your teammates get grenade kills, like I was mentioning earlier on, I found it's incredibly difficult on a hunter to get grenade kills. And apparently a lot of people have had the same issue with whatever class that they're playing. So with the next update, they're reducing the grenade kills requirement by 50%. And any ally kills they get with grenades, they're going to be worth as much as your own. So that should progress much faster.
That's a good change.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the next one is a really good change as well, which is they're reducing the sword kill requirements as well by 25%. And the same thing applies where if your ally gets a sword kill, it'll be worth as much as your own. I mean, personally, I didn't have too much of an issue with this one. It was just a matter of securing the heavy ammo. I used Black Talon. What did you guys use for that?
Same.
Black Talon.
I'm not there yet.
Not there yet.
So Dan, no, use Black Talon.
All right, sounds good. Will do.
I mean, in my opinion, it's easy, obviously, because you can get those distance kills with it, so you don't have to creep around with it. So
just make sure. I mean, one of the things I can tell you is just make sure to peek before you turn the corner, because if you're going to use the animation, it leaves you vulnerable.
Yeah.
So you can get shot down like that.
Yeah.
But if you manage to get both of the kills that you get with the Black Talon, I think that gives you around 25%.
That's awesome.
In the quest. So if you're planning on doing that this week, that's where you got to be aiming for. Sorry about that.
No sweat. It's all good.
Back to the show. But along with that, with the theme with Iron Banner, there's also been something that's been roaming around the Crucible for quite a while that's going to be seeing a change.
Yeah. Is it Warlocks?
Dan, you stop that right
now. We're finally getting the Lord of Wolves adjustment that we've been kind of waiting for a good bit now. So they're reducing the ammo count that you get for Shotgun Scavenger when you're in the Release the Wolf state. They're decreasing the effective range on Lord of Wolves. They didn't provide a number or a percentage of any sorts, because right now the range of that weapon is kind of insane.
Yeah.
And the range difference is going to be more effective when the Release the Wolves perk is active. Now, I don't know, man. When I first read these changes, it's still the range is nuts on the Lord of Wolves, but I still think that maybe switching it back to its previous state would have been just fine. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Lord of Wolves was solid beforehand. You know, I thought it was. I mean, TBL. If he's in
He is.
watching the show, he'll let you know that the weapon was good before they let you manually activate Release the Wolves. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
that's
wait and
such a
see.
That
But
change is so confusing.
it's weird, man.
I don't see it that often. That's the one thing I don't get. Everyone was just complaining about it
it's
left and right. I'm
definitely-
like, I see like one every 5 matches.
It's
Yeah.
definitely not as prominent in quick play, but in comp, you do see it a lot more, and
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
a lot more
Yeah.
annoying and competitive when you have a team of 4 or 3 that they have really good communication and they're rocking Lord of Wolves.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not necessarily a huge problem when you have like one, even maybe 2 people on a team in comp. Because you can kind of play around those people.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
when you have like stacked teams going in with them, it's really
stack
very
teams
difficult.
with like Titans using one-eyed mask.
Oh my god. That's the worst.
Dan's like, don't even get me started on that.
I hate it. I hate it. But I have been hitting them with my snipes. So that's been kind of fun to knock them out of that. Like they get the one-eyed mask to proc, and then all of a sudden just a bullet comes in and boom, just gone.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so we're seeing that change, and they also gave us a glimpse at the emblem that we're going to be getting for the Lord of Wolves event. And it's called Lost History,
Yeah.
and it looks fantastic. I wish I could show it in the stream right now, but it looks really, really good. It kind of has like the helmet of a captain, a fallen captain with 2 Lord of Wolves on his side.
Yeah, just
really,
flanking
really good
it, just
looking.
like skull and crossbones.
It's
badass.
really good.
Yep,
The
that's what
one
I
that-
got from it. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that I wasn't expecting is that they're honoring.
Go for it, Nim.
They are honoring the Prometheus Lens laser tag
I'm
back
sad about
from 2017,
Oh.
and we're also getting an emblem on that. And it's basically it's just like the Prometheus Lens laser, like melting right through
a
the skull.
melting a skull like a neon Indiana Jones. Like it's so good, man. Like
It's really good.
I saw
Yeah.
that and I was like, did I play? Like at first I thought it was like for an Iron Banner event, but it turns
It
out
was
it's
only
for
for a
Crucible.
week.
A weekend.
Yeah.
It was like 4 days.
It was a
It
weekend.
It was
Oh yeah, I don't
was-
think I played during it.
I didn't
was-
get it.
well, it was during Curse of Osiris, so like the odds of
Yeah.
A lot of
people having
people.
yeah.
I didn't get
it.
And so like it was from December 8th to December 12th. And there's a really cool site if you go on, it's Destiny Heat Maps. Destiny Historical Heat Maps. Look that up. It is by a third-party developer named Chris Fried. He also did Guardian Theater. He's an excellent creator, and you can go through and see what days you played. If you click on the day, it breaks it down. It sends you to Destiny Tracker and tells you
Yeah.
exactly what you played that day. So check that out if you're even worried about it. Maybe you got it with a couple hours to spare. Maybe you didn't get it with a couple hours to spare. It's pretty remarkable.
So qualifying players must have finished a Crucible match between 10 a.m. of December 8th and 10 a.m. of December 12th. So if you played Crucible and you finished the match anywhere between that time, then you're gonna get the emblem. And I believe we're getting these emblems next week with the update that's coming with Solstice of Heroes, which we will get into here shortly. You guys should have those packages at your postmaster. So
The same with the
Look
changes
forward
to Lord of Wolves
mm-hmm.
going forward as well. That's July 30th.
Yes. So let's go ahead. We're getting Solstice of Heroes this upcoming. We are like just running through this year, dude.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
It's wild. It's not awesome. But Solstice looks amazing.
I agree.
Solstice will be hitting on July 30th. And let me bring up the article here because this year Solstice of Heroes is going to be a little bit different. It's a little reminiscent towards Revelry in a way. So let me see here. Let me bring it up. Do you have the article up by any chance?
Yeah, I do. So
Internet's being super slow and it's not loading up.
it's okay. It's all right. So on July 30th through August 27th will be Solstice of Heroes. I guess on Tuesday they're expecting a couple of hours of downtime for maintenance. So I think it's like a total of 3 hours total from 9 a.m. PDT to 12 p.m. PDT.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with people getting with the rollout happening around like 11 a.m. PDT, if I read that correctly. Yeah, it's actually 11 a.m. PDT is when it ends, with 10 a.m. PDT when it's going to be rolling out for 2.5.2. It looks really exciting. Like you still have the same mechanic from Solstice of last year, where you have the elemental buffs, where as long as you're wearing all the same like elemental type and super type, you're going to be dropping orbs for the elemental buffs. That hasn't changed, but they're adding like combat meditations and stuff. So
yeah, so I think it's divided by days now. So each day will have a different element. So either solar, arc, or void. Elemental kills will net you those orbs for you to pick up, and that's how you, I believe, start gearing up your armor. But if it's just like last year's, you're gonna have to run the proper subclass. So either void, solar, or arc, and your elemental weapons also have to match the elemental burn for that day. So you can collect 30 orbs. Oh, and we get buffs this time around by collecting these orbs. And these buffs are kind of nuts. So let me see here. It's if you collect 30 orbs, for example, in like the daily element or whatever, you get an elemental buff for a set of time. The solar elemental buff. So it has you equip a solar subclass and weapons to generate solar orbs, then collect them to wield solar elemental power. While empowered, guardians will emit a burning wave of energy that damages anything around them. So you get a burning AoE.
What? Oh man.
Now, before anybody freaks out, this won't apply to comp.
Right.
And it won't apply to Gambit Prime.
Right.
So
regular Gambit though. Oof.
We've learned, or they've learned from Revelry.
Yeah.
The Void Elemental buff, this one's my favorite because I'll be able to do this on a Warlock. Crouch while you're empowered to become invisible and gain True Sight, plus enhanced ability regenerations. So kind of a mix of the Hunter's what is it, Flawless Execution?
I think
the True Sight, where you can see people through walls. That's gonna be so much fun.
Dude, I just want to point out that I was just talking to, this was before this was announced, I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I was just like, wouldn't it be like super broken if Warlocks could be invisible?
Yeah.
Oh, we about to be.
Yep.
Like as a Warlock saying that, I'm like, oh, that would be stupid. Like there's no way. And then this happens and I'm like, oh, okay.
Not only that, we get wall hacks. That's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I'm just like, they turned it up like to 10, you know?
Get out!
Just nods in disagreement. And finally, for Arc, this one is a little questionable, and I'm not too crazy about it. But while empowered, Guardians move with enhanced speed and deal greater melee and sword damage.
So basically, Striker Titans.
I mean, Striker Titans will be speedy boys now. Again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cue the running around the map, just meleeing people montage. You know?
Oh my god, with Syntheseps, yes.
This
is gonna be
interesting.
Greaves.
Yeah.
Dune Marchers, right? Or
the Dune Marchers. Those increase your sprint speed and they add a chain lightning reaction to your melees.
So they say that these they say that these will last for a short amount of time. How long
Yeah.
is a fair amount of time in your mind? Like 10,
I would
15
say, like,
seconds?
I'd say that's generous. I'd say maybe like 5 seconds.
Okay.
So every 30 orbs you collect, you get empowered.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. 5 seconds seems low, but I'd say I would
especially
expect more.
for 30 orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
say
like-
10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like maybe the orbs will, be dropping like candy. I don't know how. I
Who
don't
knows?
really remember last time how often they were like popping out. But
Well, it depends on how you stacked your gear too, because you had to have the subclass and the gear in order to get
Mhm.
to produce more. So
hmm
I don't know. That'll
I
be
think in the
interesting.
Crucible. So in the Crucible, I think you get orbs for every kill, right?
I can't
If you have
remember,
masterwork
honestly.
weapons,
yeah, so it'd be a precision kill. Yeah. So at 30 orbs, I don't think it's going to be that huge of a deal
Yeah, probably not.
in the Crucible. It's not like you're always going to have this ability or these
Yeah,
specific abilities.
it's gonna be fun though. I look forward to having wall hacks with my fusion rifle.
Wonder if the death will reset that though. Will the
It
death
does.
reset your?
Oh,
they
I'm sure,
say that
yeah.
it does.
Oh, it does. Okay. I was just making sure because if it didn't,
Yeah.
then
The last
Then-
sentence of that top paragraph is these effects will last for a short amount of time or until you are defeated by your enemies.
okay. Well,
So along with that, we're getting a new activity as well, called the combat meditation, and it's going to be in a new area. And this was kind of given a little sneak peek when the Season of Opulence trailer went live, and it's in a new area called the European Aerial Zone.
Mhm.
So it's a 3-player match-made activity.
We've seen
and
that
you have
before.
to take, yeah.
Hojo.
And then you got to take on either Hive, Cabal, or fallen enemies. Could be launched from the tower or the director, wherever you please. Your goal is to defeat as many mini bosses as possible before the time expires. So it's almost in a sense kind of like the Haunted Forest or in
Yep.
the Verdant Forest. But I think it's just like almost an arena type area.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. We do know that the more mini bosses you defeat, the more treasure will await you, but we don't know what that treasure really is.
You
Uh,
do.
You do?
So,
oh yeah, you do.
Basically, in the next section of that, they say that it's going to be the chest contains solstice packages that you can open with solstice key fragments earned by completing any activity during the Solstice of Heroes. So if you go and do a strike, you're going to get these fragments. If you go and do Gambit, you're going to get these fragments. The solstice packages will unlock rare and legendary gear. I'm thinking that that's actually the solstice armor, like those versions.
Yeah.
Enhancement cores and materials. What those materials could be? They could be like gunsmith stuff. They could be planetary materials. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they say once you've earned legendary solstice armor, solstice packages will reward you with additional armor, so you can hunt for roles with enhanced perks. So that's what makes me say that I think it's just the solstice armor in that pool, because
which is great, because I mean, if you're the type of player it's like, hey, this armor looks awesome, but I don't like the perks on it. Typically, that player would have been gone off doing something else. But the fact that this can roll with enhanced perks is I'd say a pretty solid incentive to keep running the activity, rather than something like the Verdant Forest, where it's like,
and it's going to be Armor 2.0 too.
No, it's not.
It's going to be Armor 2.0 when Shadowkeep releases.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you keep it, and then it becomes.
Well, so basically, if you earn the armor, how they've said it in the thing, and that's in the next couple of sections here, you earn the armor, and then when Shadowkeep comes around, you can pick up the 2.0 version armor from the gunsmith at release.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not going to be your exact roles that you've been playing with for like a month and a half, but it will.
So is it
that
going to
point,
be
it
the
won't
role
matter.
that originally drops out of the? When you get, how is that going to work?
That would
It
make
shouldn't matter at
sense.
that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, because you might be able to put whatever you want on.
Stack,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Sure. That's a good point.
Yeah, it
So-
won't matter at that point.
That makes.
Oh, that just gets me all excited now. It doesn't matter what the role is. You can probably just make it your own anyways. Let's
And
go.
you can,
Yeah.
you can make it look however you want. So
Yeah, exactly. So completing the Solstice legendary armor sets on all 3 classes will
Mhm.
unlock the Void Streak Sparrow.
Ooh,
Which
it's
is
so
a-
SRL.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a very SRL reminiscent
Ooh.
Sparrow.
Mhm.
It looks really nice. I want to say it's probably going to have like that
SRL.
void-ish kind of
It
like
has the.
streak.
I didn't even realize it had the Jade Rabbit symbol on it. Oh my god, I need
Yeah.
this.
It's just like one of the old SRL sparrows. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, I want it. I want it so bad.
I didn't want SRL, but that's a whole different show.
Yeah. So, like the previous Solstice of Armor set, you're gonna start off with the Drain set, and you're gonna have to do different activities to upgrade the armor from Drained to Renewed to Majestic.
Mhm.
So, I'm hoping that the climb to Majestic is a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but
Last year
easier.
was a slog. Last year was a
Yeah, 'cause
slog for sure.
The original set
That was
was
tough.
insanely grindy. And shit, I put on the armor the other day on my warlock.
Yeah.
And the gloves on my warlock still weren't masterwork. Like they still had the objective to complete all the strikes on. And you can tell at that point I just gave up. I was like, no.
Yeah. I got
If they're
the
gonna
ship
let
last
you
year.
grind for, if they're gonna let you grind for armor and different rolls on it, I would imagine the grind to get it all the way complete, all the way upgraded, is gonna be a little easier because then it'll give you time. I would hope they give you time.
Well, they do that. That armor starts dropping once you've already made your armor legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So you won't have to like redo,
Yeah.
from drained to
Mhm.
yeah.
to majestic all over
That
again.
climb, there's already been some data leak stuff out there in the
Yeah.
world. And that climb does seem like it might be a little, a little intensive if you have 3 characters. And in this world of cross save, maybe you don't want to do it on multiple consoles or else you'll drive yourself insane. But yeah, I remember last year it was a slog to get 3 characters on one console, and then like when I was like, okay, time to do it again on Xbox, I was just like, fuck it, I can't. Like my mind's
Yeah.
gonna break. So
Yeah.
I'm glad cross save is coming soon. It takes
We're close,
that load
dudes.
off. I know.
So close.
Yeah, we're
Real
close. Real close to that happening. I'm excited.
Yeah. I definitely want the grind to be a little bit easier too, because I mean it's probably just because it is gonna be, armor 2.0, and at least that beginning part, I want it to be easier because I'm gonna want to obtain it on all my characters.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, like it's people who have all 3 classes, like if this is just as grindy as it was originally, like holy shit. But I mean, I guess it's supposed to keep you busy throughout the month of
Yeah.
of August too.
Towards the end of August,
Um,
yeah.
One piece of super good advice. I know one piece of it is to get legendary, like hit legendary in Valor for one of the pieces.
Mhm.
At least that's what was data mined. This week is triple Valor weekend, and maybe you should use that to get up to legendary and then hold on to it.
That's what
for
I'm
that
doing.
Quest set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on to
just
it
in
for that
case.
quest step, because if it doesn't count for previous,
If
then
it's
you
not
have it
retroactive.
on lock.
It won't count for previous. I almost guarantee it,
Yeah, that would,
which is fine.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I would hold on to your legendary until after to reset it until after that quest step comes up for the armor piece.
Yeah.
So
especially if you don't play a lot of PvP and you don't want to spend the solstice time
right,
running, for someone
Yeah.
like me, like I don't mind, so I'll probably reset it anyways. But
right.
if you don't play a lot of
Especially
PvP, you want to top it off for sure.
Especially with how potentially infuriating PvP could be with these
I know, potentially.
new abilities.
Oh yeah, I didn't even. I already forgot about that. You had to remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh well, it is
So-
what it
Should
is.
be good.
Yeah. Yeah, it should
So, just like the previous event, we're of course going to have an Eververse store refresh.
be. Mhm.
Unfortunately, unlike previous events, there isn't going to be an event engram this time around, and I'm not a fan of that. I get it,
Yeah.
but I'm not a fan of it. They did say that every single item will be available for either direct purchase with silver or bright dust.
Yeah.
Um,
But,
which
but Nim, how much of that do you have left over after you've paid Daddy Callus for rent.
Dude, not a lot. I think I'm maybe like down to like 9,000.
Yeah.
Daddy Callus for rent.
Daddy Callus, yeah.
Dude, they did a number on us real early on in the season, probably
Oh, they
preparing us for a little
Oh,
bit
they
of
knew.
this and then Shadowkeep. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they knew. So yeah, they mentioned that all of the Eververse items that will be available for Bright Dust at some point during the event. So again, it's probably going to be like on a rotation. The important part of this stuff here is the armor glows. So just like the previous season, the armor glows are also tied to Eververse. Now you can buy the sets of the armor for silver or Bright Dust, which is great. I think that's honestly probably going to be the first thing that I spend my Bright Dust on is the armor glows. So they said that the armor glows will remain available for use also after Solstice of Heroes ends.
yes!
Thank you.
So your awesome Armor 2.0 version is gonna look totally bitchin' on day one of Shadowkeep.
Shadowkeep.
It's gonna be a fashion show. Shadowkeep day one. Everyone with their glows.
Yeah.
To backtrack on your statement, Nem, just to clarify, so are the armor glows only going to be available from Eververse?
Eververse.
Yes.
So they're not
Because-
obtainable through the game
Nope.
itself.
No, because there's
Well-
no
Okay.
event. There's no event engram.
Right. Nice. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that just to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's either silver or Bright
interesting.
Dust.
Well, and we've wondered how they were going to monetize Destiny, right? Following Activision after their
I like
split with
it, yeah.
Activision. As
That's fine
long
name.
as it's available with Bright Dust and
Yeah.
silver, I'm cool
Yeah.
with it because you can play the game, earn Bright Dust, and grind. Like you could grind out those Eververse bounties.
Yeah. Even if it takes a long time, like if you really want something bad enough, like
Yeah.
you know, I played a little bit of Warframe in my day, so I know how that is.
Oh
like
my
if you
God.
want that grind is seriously real. But like if you want something, if it's in your heart, like you can get it. You don't have to pay any money for it. You just have to
Yeah.
sell your soul to the
Dude,
video game for
the
a while.
Warframe grind compared to Destiny is just night and day.
Oh yeah,
Like-
it's insane. It's
The
insane.
grind in Destiny is just super light.
You like
Compared-
grind Destiny to take a break from grinding.
Compared to Warframe.
Yeah, in Destiny, there's so much more like instant gratification than playing
There
War. Like I didn't
really
even
is.
play that
Yeah.
much Warframe, and I was just like, ugh, like
Let's take a step back and think about that statement that the instant gratification that we have in Destiny 2 is actually there. I remember a time it wasn't.
sure,
I kind of miss those times. I'm not gonna lie.
same.
What?
Yeah, dude.
No,
You missed the times when you didn't get anything for all the time you spent?
Yeah, that's what kept me playing.
Yeah.
What?
That's what kept me playing.
Well,
That's what
I've
kept
had,
me
like,
going
the
to Vault of
RNG
Glass.
aspect. Yeah, I mean, there's no better feeling for me in my Destiny career than like my Fatebringer drop, my Vex drop, my Gallahorn drop, and like they were hard to get. But like every time you
Yeah.
completed an activity, it didn't matter if it was a Crucible match or the end of defeating Crota. Like you knew you had that hope in the back of your mind, like this could be it. Like
This
this
could
be
could
the
be
one,
the
yeah.
time. This could be the
Well,
one.
there was
and-
something about Destiny 1 early on, like the Gallahorn and like the Vault of Glass grind to try to get all those weapons, you know,
Mhm.
Vex and
Yeah.
try to get Fatebringer finally and all that stuff. Oh my god. That was different. There was something different about it. I was talking about like later in Destiny 1 when we were having like the bad droughts of just everything.
Yeah.
Like, wait, hold on. Give me an example because I think we're talking about two different situations here now.
I'm not like specifically, I'm not 100%, but I remember like at some point in Destiny 1, I just wasn't playing anymore. It was right about the time that the first division came out, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, there's nothing to grind for. I'm not even getting any, like, there wasn't any exotics dropping anymore. So that was
You're
when
talking
I
about
went to division.
You're not talking about in-game like loot.
like the actual system of it happening.
Yeah.
I think we're hitting on like
Yes.
how you
Oh, my-
receive these rewards.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
Maybe I'm
mean,
maybe I'm
mean, we,
I'm, like,
we
going
definitely had that content drought.
like your circle's here, my circle's there, and they were like sort of like
Slightly
overlapping a
overlapping.
little bit.
No, I definitely
Diagram.
feel you. No,
Yeah.
I get you.
I
And
was
there
taking
was
that
like
in a
an
different
area.
direction. Yeah.
There was an area where there wasn't much to be excited
Right.
about, is what you're trying to say. But when there was content, like those are the. I know we're getting kind of off track, but like those are kind of the moments that like I miss.
What
It's
happens
like,
when you guys have me on?
it's good. These are all good thoughts.
You did it
Yeah,
to
man.
But
yourself.
yeah, I miss it. What's one, just before we move away, what's one weapon or like piece of gear that you guys like emotionally grinded for, right? Like in Destiny 2 that like wouldn't drop. Is there something that you can think of?
Ikelos shoddy. Never had it.
Oh,
Okay, I was gonna say EP had some of that for me.
yeah.
I've only gotten one weapon that ever dropped triple digit completions. It was a SMG.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think on my end, really the only thing that I ever found myself like running an activity for consistently because I really wanted to get the drop was 1,000 voices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
I ran for
No.
the Osprey, like to get the Wayfarer title pretty early on. Like
Mhm.
I did that over and over and over again and missed out on it twice when it rolled through. Like just out of pure RNG, like bullshit. And then
Yeah.
finally got the Wayfarer title, which is only available for a little bit of time. So grind for that stuff. You might there's a thing on Reddit about it. I'm gonna post in chat as a little super good advice. But yeah, it just if you at least if you're wanting the pin. But yeah, for me it was that. I wanted that 1K voices, seeing it drop for people when we would like do raids together. It was nice because I'd get to kick them to orbit because that's tradition. But
Yeah.
like when it came to, I don't know. Once I got it, I was kind of like, okay, I got it. It wasn't really an incentive anymore. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mhm.
I do like those the raid specific exotics and like
Mhm.
their rarity. I think they're this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but like their rarity I think is good. And I
Yeah.
like that they weren't dropping
No.
like first time you did it, like other than the world's first, like boom, they all get it. But like I think the rarity of it made it fun. And it gave
Yeah.
I don't raid a lot, but like the times that I did raid, my like overall incentive to do the raid was like, maybe I'll get the weapon at the end, you know?
Right.
So
No, 100%. 100%.
totally off track on that. Sorry about that,
No,
guys.
that's fine. No,
No, you're
dude,
good, dude.
make hay while the sun's out.
Topic.
But yeah.
I've never heard that before. I don't know why, but good one.
Just another
Is
one
that
of
common? Is that a
Danfinity.
Dan or is that just a common? Like, because
My
I've never
dad-
heard that.
My dad used to say it all the time, so it's I don't know. I grew up on a
Okay,
farm,
when the
guys.
sun's out.
Danfinitism.
It makes sense that I grew up on a farm in some cases, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, but yeah, so we're getting a ridiculous looking sparrow with Eververse change. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Love
We're
it.
getting the little baby sparrow.
Yeah.
I have a need, you guys. I have a need.
I already
It
have
looks-
ideas for that.
It looks insane.
I'm just like waiting
Um,
for the first time someone comes flying through like the EDC on one of those. Like,
We need
Oh, I hope it beeps.
sparrow horns
horns.
back. We
Yeah.
need sparrow horns back. Just specifically, like if somebody rides back, like it plays like the sombrero song, like, and you just hear that going off in the distance.
everything's more
God.
funny when it slowly fades away.
Yeah,
like, as they
exactly.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
but yeah,
I want if we get the sparrow horns, I want the one from Ant-Man. The horn from the van in Ant-Man. It needs to be on a sparrow. Yeah.
Mhm.
a cucaracha.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we're getting that hot and spicy Eververse store refresh. We got some new emotes. It's like pretty neat.
Yeah.
Along with that update, we're getting some changes to Menagerie
Yep.
as well. Heroic Menagerie will now drop a sword for the first time completion, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people who've already completed it are screwed out of that
Probably.
because it's not
Or maybe
worded well.
hopefully it just means the first completion you get after they make the change.
I hope
You
so,
can
but
get a
it's
sword?
I think
not
so.
worded like that. They mentioned subsequent completions will have a moderate chance to drop a sword, which is 25%.
Well, I mean,
Hmm.
that kind of goes against the philosophy of the Iron Banner requirements, right? So if the Iron Banner requirements are retroactive, then the Menagerie ones should be as well. Does that make sense for the same patch?
Yeah, no, you're talking about the for the Iron Banner, or no? With
the grenade kills requirements is
I see what you're
reduced by
saying,
50%. So you like going in, if I'm grandfathered in, then those extra kills that I got don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
With Heroic Menagerie, I mean, it would make sense if you just had like a sword in your inbox if you completed it once, but I could see it being.
No, I don't see that.
I could see it. You have to complete it after the patch, and then
Yeah,
you'll
most
get
likely.
it 100%.
Yeah.
They're just saying like, hey, if you want to go back and do it, you'll get a sword.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You'll get it for sure.
Dan's got weeb.
I actually need to go back and do it just because there are a ton of triumphs attached to it, and I want to get them. I'm after them.
There are.
Yeah.
Have you guys done the bosses without dying in Heroic?
I
Dude,
have not.
I wanted to, but Heroic Menagerie just doesn't feel worth it to me.
I've watched
Just
too many
keep
people
going.
do it for me to
go
want to
through
do
that.
I
it
feel that.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip.
So,
Some people enjoy that type of content,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if a sword and a title is worth it for me as a player to want to go through Heroic Menagerie, flawless for the boss. So I'm just gonna wait until like Shadowkeep and get a little bit stronger, and then work on it. So,
That's
definitely
not a bad idea. I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it on
Yeah.
the TWAB.
You do have the
portion.
changes to the invisibility glitches and the spectating glitch that are going into effect next week as
Right.
well. For those of you,
Some funny stuff.
yeah, everybody's probably run into it at least once where you go into a match in either comp or quick play or Iron Banner, and all of a sudden everybody's invisible or certain things are invisible. You've probably completed a bounty, so you should go to your pursuits tab and turn that in because it's going to get worse until you do. That will be fixed on Tuesday with that patch 2.5.2.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it was annoying / kind of fun.
Yeah.
Invisible.
When I was going for the 2100 in comp, it was just like, what the hell is this? What is this?
Yeah,
This makes
that'd
no
be annoying.
sense. And yeah, it just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I didn't know what the problem was at first. I thought it was like a connection thing, or like
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, why is everyone invisible? This is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But that's getting
Getting fixed.
that's getting fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we also got some news outside of the This Week at Bungie, and from, I want to say it's Polygon.
Yes. Ryan Gilliam at Polygon has been putting out several articles over the past week. From one, I'm guessing one interview with Mark Noseworthy and Luke Smith. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we, on the first one that we're gonna take a look at here, it's on the topic of reviving old raids and locations for Destiny 2, because obviously, with Shadowkeep we're going back to the moon, so a lot of that brings up the topic of hey, where else can we go from Destiny 1 in Destiny 2? The whole thing about this is they kind of wanted to continue that story. It's like, what's happened in the moon ever since we were last there, and now that we've gone through like the Red War and all of that. So talking about like, hey, could we see like Cosmodrome or Venus return to Destiny 2? Luke and Mark were saying that from a technical perspective, it's probably going to get a little bit more difficult because it can't keep growing Destiny 2. Like we're already, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on console, Destiny 2 is already like getting close to that 100 gig mark.
it's massive.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what the differences in sizes are between all three platforms, but 80 gigs is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, that's Red Dead Redemption big.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
big.
yeah, they can't like they expressed earlier, they can't keep expanding it forever just because of that side. This past week for Amazon Prime Day, I ended up getting an external hard drive, not an SSD, mind you, but just a regular external hard drive that's like 2 terabytes, so I can house Destiny separately from my console. For like, it's
We
terrifying.
laugh, but that's like kind of necessary
It's
at this
almost
point.
necessary.
It
now.
is. Yeah.
And-
Yeah. 100% is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I can see the pressures that would put on somebody who maybe didn't have the means to do that. And enjoys playing this game. But
Sure.
yeah, back to you, Nim. More details for that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big factor in them deciding whether they want to bring back old locations or maybe bring back like an old raid or something, because they let us know. I think it's Luke Smith says that, you know, that they have a really talented raid design team, and they want to make sure that, you know, they want to make the best use of their talents and how
Mhm.
that works within Bungie. So,
Sure.
you know, at some point we kind of have to move on from like those older experiences, because, you know, that takes a lot of time. I mean,
Mhm.
if we know from one of their artists that bringing back like a weapon or a piece of armor alone takes like 2 to 3 weeks. Imagine bringing back an entire whole ass raid or a destination. I mean, the moon alone coming in Shadowkeep, it's twice the size that it was back in Destiny 1. So they've been putting in a lot of work to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're kind of testing the waters to see, you know, how players react and whatnot, but it's definitely a balance of bringing back, you know, something old and new.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, you know, that discussion broadly was basically because I know there were a lot of people that had different ideas about, is there going to be Destiny 3? And I know we
Yeah.
kind of got the word that there kind of was, but other people were like, is it going to be more like you were saying, World of Warcraft style, where they just take this game and build on it in the future? But that kind of gave us like actual confirmation that there's going to be another iteration of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to are they going to build that with the idea of building on that more? We don't know. But that kind of just tells you right there that, you know, D3 is probably going to be a thing to be expected in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
When it comes, like, I wouldn't necessarily. Okay, this is going to get me in trouble. I wouldn't necessarily want them to import all that old content into Destiny 2 at this point. I think it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense story wise. I think that when you're, especially for a game like this, you have to keep progressing the universe, or else the universe gets stale. And if you're
Yeah.
constantly looking back, then that's a problem. Like, some of the things that we look back on fondly are only look back on fondly because we found weird broken shit in it, and we had our fun with it, right?
Mhm.
Their memories.
Right, exactly. And nostalgia is a selling point for sure, for like, especially for Shadowkeep. Like, we're going back to the moon. I'm really excited to go back to it. I want to see what changes happen, but that's the thing. Change happened to it.
Yeah.
Story-wise, it was important to push it forward.
Right.
So, I don't know. I trust whatever they do in that regard. I'm excited to go back to the Black Garden. I don't know how they're going to bring, if it's just going to be like a stationary thing that you go out to, or if they're going to give us Venus eventually, in whatever weird world that is. But I don't know, man.
To
I'm
me,
excited
in
for
my
the
head, it
future.
feels like they're doing a little bit of like wrap up, right? Filling some gaps, filling some
Right.
holes. Because like when it comes down to like the lore and the story and everything of the moon, for me at least, there's a lot of missing pieces,
Yeah.
and a lot of questions, especially
Mhm.
with Eris. And like, she's one of the biggest characters in this game. A lot of people love her. I love her. And we want to know more about her. We want to know more about, you know, the past, but we also want to know about what's happening now and in the future. Black Garden. lot of unanswered questions about the Black
Mhm.
Garden.
Yeah.
I mean, unlimited questions about
Yeah.
the Black Garden. So I feel like they're doing the right thing, and they're doing the story in the right ways to where, like you said, they're not just like rehashing old story and old content. It's
Yeah.
adding to this awesome content they created but didn't finish.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
feel like moving forward with the game and with the story and everything, these are really important holes they're filling so that we can progress, into
Yeah,
the future.
I like the wrap up. I want this to wrap up. I sort of want Destiny 2 to wrap up, honestly. And I want a lot of these stories. Well, Destiny 1, I felt there was a lot of plot holes, a lot of things that they just glossed over.
The
Destiny
entire
2,
vanilla.
I think Destiny 2 has a good
That's true.
chance, has a good opportunity. Bungie has a great opportunity here to wrap up a lot of things that they've done.
Mhm.
While Destiny 2 ends. So between now and whenever Destiny 2 actually ends, and we're on the precipice of Destiny 3 or whatever they call it, I hope Bungie takes the opportunity to wrap up a lot of storylines, fill in a lot of holes, so that we can progress past it. Because honestly, I feel like they've been dangling like the darkness in front of us. It's like Thanos; he doesn't really ever show up. We see
Yeah.
the glove pop up in a scene, and that's it. We see him like in a mini cutscene at the end of a movie. It's like, and then I want Endgame to come. I want Destiny Endgame to be here. It needs to be here, I think, in Destiny 2. I think that they have a huge opportunity to wrap things up now. They have everything in place. I hope they do that, and I want to see Destiny 3 be new.
And I think that's what they're doing with the story elements that we've seen with Shadowkeep, because we've from the little glimpses that we've gotten in the trailers and some of the still images that have come out from the press kits, we know that there's something strange going on there, and that Eris kind of let loose whatever these nightmares are. And we've seen that there's these like shadows, that are kind of like hovering above the Hellmouth, and we don't know what that is. We don't know if it's something new entirely, if it's the fabled fifth race, because based on an old art concept that they showed off a long
Yeah.
time ago, they showed this fifth race as like these wispy looking kind of like human bodied things, and this is kind of what this is resembling so far on the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly what it is. And this
the way
is
they
one of those
hang
ways.
there, they look almost like dead.
Yeah,
Looks like a
There.
Billie Eilish
Wow.
video. Am I right?
it's
Yeah.
some Death Stranding bullshit happening right now.
I'm
but
almost 40. I don't know what that means.
It's okay.
You're fine. Trust me, you don't need to know.
But are you the bad guy?
Dan, I'm gonna kick you like right now.
You're the
done.
internet.
But yeah, no, I think that's a good sense of like, we're going back to an old location, but there's something else going on. There's new stuff happening there. So I'm really excited, because this could definitely be the precursor to them introducing, the darkness,
Yeah.
if that's what it is. As far as the
Well-
Black Raid or the Black Garden raid, I think in one of those like flash scenes that we saw in one of those Vidocs, it looks like, so you remember in Mars, the gateway to like the Black Garden,
Yeah.
it was like the massive portal, and it had like some stones in front of it.
Yeah.
So there's something like that they show in the trailer, but it looks like it's like inside of like moon caves.
Yeah.
And it looks exactly like it. It's kind of like where they show that like wispy looking Minotaur.
Oh my god.
If you look behind him, you can see like the Vex Gate and the same like stone pillar
The
structure.
same architecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be another gate to the Black Garden.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
I
That
was-
makes sense because we're
Yeah.
going to be at the moon, and we know the Black Garden's coming for the raid, so that probably their
Yeah.
teaser right there on how you get there.
I was today years old when I realized that the Destiny universe is connected to the Stargate franchise.
Please explain, Dan.
I can't wait. No, just the Vex portals. I forgot all about them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like
That was that. Okay, gotcha.
That was it. Anyways.
Yeah.
moving on.
Okay. So that's what it looks like. And we know that we're going to the Black Garden, and but we don't know exactly what we're fighting there in the Black Garden. Like, obviously, the Black Garden has been widely connected with the Vex, and we know that the name of the season is called Season of the Undying, and it had like the little Vex artwork on it. So somehow all of that stuff is connected.
Yeah, Undying is what we call it, not surname, whatever. It
was a strike in Destiny 1.
Yeah, Undying Mind and some of there's been a couple mini bosses I thought that have popped up, Hydras that are called Undying something, right?
Maybe? I don't know. I can't remember.
I thought there were a couple tidbits like that.
But yeah, so it's exciting because again, this could be the precursor to them finally introducing whatever these shadow figures are.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and like what we've seen from the Black Garden looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's my number one thing that I brought up earlier. I want answers about, and so I'm excited more about the story of like why we're going back to the Black. Like, first of all, I saw the Black Garden raid. I'm like, why? Like, why are we going back there? I need to know now. Like I have all these things.
Oh, we
like,
thought.
What if it's exactly? So the story, obviously, I'm a huge lore person when it comes to like knowing that, but like it's also a raid in the Black Garden, so it's gonna be fun, I think. And if it's Vex, obviously it's gonna be a similar experience to probably Vault of Glass, where you experienced a lot of Vex, and I'm a huge fan of the Vex, so all of it gets me all hype. All of it, all the ness.
I think they really need to do more with the Vex, honestly, because there's such an interesting enemy race, and we've seen so little of them over the past.
More Vex, less Vex milk.
Yeah, the last time we had anything major with them was Eater Worlds.
Yeah, and that was very loosely because it was just like it was Cabal for the first half, and then it was Vex for the second half.
Yeah, that boss was badass though.
It's such a good fight. It's a really good fight.
Yeah, it's the one thing I don't want to fight in the Black Garden is just like another big old like Vex Gate Lord thing.
Yeah,
I'm kind of over that, but that's just my opinion.
All right, well, there's a funny question that just popped in my head. What would you want to fight?
That's a really good question. I'm thinking, if you think about it, it could be 1,000 different things. I would want to fight something new, some sort of new. Who knows? It could be one of these like mysterious shadow things that we fight. It could be Atheon. It could be, a shadow version of Atheon. Like, I don't know. It could be, but I want it to be like a new enemy. What if we like it's the heart or something that we have to destroy, or like that we didn't completely destroy?
Well, we've destroyed a heart of darkness already, so we don't know exactly what else that.
Yeah, but did we like? I don't know. Sure. What if it's not an actual enemy? What if it's like a thing we have to do?
What if it's a thought?
It's just a cloud. It's just a cloud.
It's a concept of an idea of a thought.
Yeah, but no, think about that. I know that's like a deep topic,
beside a riddle.
Think of like the end of the raid not being kill this boss, but like complete this task.
Yeah.
Or like do this thing.
Well, and that kind of harkens back to like what was it? The little scree things that you get from this fucking those I can't word right now, but they're
I know words are hard, Dan, but
you got this. It's hot in my room and I don't have Fandinity on, so
believe in you.
But it's the guys that blow up on impact when they come.
Screebs?
Yeah, the Screebs. I was there. I was almost there. It's Aura's idea for the Screeb boss. Like, instead of destroying a boss, you have to keep it from exploding. It's an objective outside of destruction.
Sure.
It'd be interesting to see something like that.
I mean, that's sort of like a lot of bosses, they have some sort of wipe mechanic, sort of the same thing.
Yeah, but you eventually do like a DPS phase to like do the pew-pews.
So it'd be something more mechanic heavy that would...
less pew-pews, more mechanics.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how people would feel about that. I mean, I could,
Maybe just like running around this big screed boss trying to keep it from exploding, and eventually, like you get all the ingredients
That's
mixed in
Aura's
this
idea.
big pot.
isn't that what Aura was
You
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's
was
Aura's
talking
idea.
about
Snickers, and you feed him a
Mhm.
Snickers, and then he doesn't explode. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
the
it.
Snickers thing is new, but that's pretty much Aura's idea.
I like the Snickers part though, T.
Yeah.
I dig it.
He's
Yeah.
just hangry.
He turns into
That's
Cloris
true.
Leachman, and they're like, "Hey, you need a Snickers."
I hope it's a big raid, man.
Yeah,
I
And-
truly believe it's gonna be like, you know, a bigger one. There'll be 3 big raids and then a
Yeah.
bunch of.
I hope it's like a Last Wish type of raid.
yeah.
Oh, I definitely think it will be.
But
I feel with
also,
the name Shadowkeep on the expansion, the raid being in the Black Garden, I think it would feel a little shortchanged if it was a small, like
Yeah.
super short Crota style raid.
I'd be bummed out honestly if it was like
Yeah.
a little like layer style
Yeah.
raid. I'd be pretty bummed out. Yeah.
But I mean, like
yeah.
with we got Wrath of the Machine with Rise of Iron, which this is like comparative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
So I mean, Wrath of the Machine, it wasn't
Something
the
like
longest
that.
raid, but it was challenging.
a full
fun.
raid.
yeah.
Yeah,
That had quite a bit of landscape to cover though in it. It was quick, but
yeah,
I would
Once
be
you
okay
got
with
it
that.
down, it was quick. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, that felt significant until I think that would be okay.
yeah. But Last Wish
Yeah.
is kind of a breeze now, if I'm being
For sure.
honest.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, we just
eventually
had
they
time
all
with
get
it.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had time with it, and we're just like, oh yeah, are we gonna use Prospector Strat? No, we're gonna use this one, or we're gonna guess eyes now and just do it solo.
How long
Glad
did
and
the,
Chevy, that's crazy?
Yeah, they're insane. How
Yeah.
long did what was the final time on the Last Wish World's First completion? It was like 8 billion hours. It was a while.
It was over 24 hours.
Yeah, so I want to see a raid that takes over a day to complete.
Yeah,
That's what I like. That's why that's my time frame is like because I don't usually compete in that or
Yeah.
partake. I just kind of pop popcorn on the couch and I love watching
Spectator.
them. So
yeah,
yeah, and I love it. Like I absolutely love it. It gets my heart racing. I can't imagine what people are feeling in the
Yeah.
moment. But like I want to be able to like have to get some sleep, right, and then wake up and be like, oh, where are they at? Like
Yeah.
that's my time frame of how
But
long I want
wasn't-
the raid to be.
Wasn't like Last Wish within 24 hours? Because Dado was second place and he got finished at 24:02.
yeah.
23 hours, I think maybe is what I'm saying.
Right in that
23
20
something.
plus hour
Buck Coffee
time
says
frame.
23:58.
But that's still a long.
Yeah.
It would do Crown of Sorrow. That took what?
4 to 5 hours, maybe.
It was. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, less
yeah, I
than
was-
that. It was like 3 to 4.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Well, regardless, for
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
asked Carolina.
it was a couple hours. Couple hours.
But I mean, also in the sense of like, I guess complete in the sense of like, have like a full set of arsenal of weapons and it not have,
Yeah.
just
Probably the
like
most
maybe
important
3 or
point.
4
being, yeah.
Yeah.
or weapons
Yeah.
for it.
The full
But,
suite,
yeah.
as you so eloquently put it.
Yeah, the full suite of armor and weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to it, man. And who
What's
knows,
Vex
maybe
gear?
that. So I think we've already seen the raid armor.
What?
I think
Was
I
it-
think they've.
Was
I
it
think they've
dropped in a
already-
leak?
No, it's so if you look in the Vidoc, the really long Out of the Shadows Vidoc,
Mhm.
In one of those interviews that they're talking with one of the developers, they in the back monitors, it's a little bit blurred, but you can 100% see armor. That's based on different guardians. So you see Warlock, Hunter, Titan,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very Vex themed.
That's
So
awesome.
they have
I
like
love
this
the way that stuff
Titan,
looks.
super
Mhm.
bulky with almost what looks like a hobgoblin's type of like helmet with like moss growing on the armor and like the belly has the radiolaria
Oh,
Yeah.
on it. I think the hunter
see that.
cloak had like it was almost pure moss.
yeah.
Because you know how like some of those older
Yeah,
Vex have
the
like
older
that
versions.
weathered, yeah. So it was very Vex themed, and if you guys want to see it, I'll put it here in the Discord chat after the call is over.
Please.
Yeah,
Um,
I would love to.
But I think we've gotten a peek, and I have a feeling that maybe that trace rifle that we saw that's Vex themed that makes
Mhm.
a giant crit spot could potentially maybe be the raid.
Sure.
the raid exotic, but
I think that would be cool.
It's
As very
cool.
cool. Being the raid exotic, yeah, it looks dope.
I hope they have good ornaments for the raid armor.
Oh,
I
T,
hope
you
they
hit
bring
you
that.
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
You remember those You remember the challenge Vault of Glass ornaments and the Crota
Yeah.
ones? Like that
Oh
was
my
raid
God,
armor.
dude, that
Back
was-
in
that
my
was-
day, we had raid armor.
It's like you're talking about all the moss covered stuff and the way
Mhm.
the aged Vex look is probably what we're gonna get based on what you saw on the
Yeah.
monitor shots. But I
Mhm.
want the shiny new Vex look as well. You know,
Yeah.
I would love a Titan with like a shiny new Vex armor set. That would be
Oh, for sure, for sure. So yeah, I mean, and I'm hoping that's the case because again, all of the armor that we've had for like the raids up until now have been kind of eh. I think honestly,
Yeah.
Crown of Sorrows was the only one that was
It's pretty cool.
really out there in terms of like visuals. Like it
Mhm.
stood out. So I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah.
On to the next topic before we move on to questions. So one of the last articles that we have is regarding the return of the artifacts to Destiny 2.
Righto.
We know that Bungie is now fully embracing the MMO aspect of the game, and we're seeing that with the return of intellect, discipline, strength, with the ability to kind of customize your armor the way you see fits. You can add your mods. You have like an energy slot to that now. Now with artifacts returning, they're coming back, but they're coming back in a different way. So we had artifacts with Rise of Iron, and they gave you these different bonuses. Whether if you had a sword, you can reflect stuff with the sword, so projectiles.
Yeah.
There was another artifact where remember where you had a sprint lock? There was an
God.
artifact that took that sprint lock away.
It was called Destiny 2.
So they gave you really neat abilities. They're returning, but in a different sense now. So the artifacts that are coming back to Destiny 2 are now tied to the seasons. So they're kind of tied with whatever lore or story is happening within that season. And we've gotten a little bit of a sneak preview that they're working on an Eye of the Gate Lord artifact for Shadowkeep. And the way this is going to work is that you pretty much level up the artifact over time. And according to one of the designers, some of the perks that you can get on these artifacts can get really nutty, to the point where they almost feel exotic like perks.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really stoked that they're bringing some of this stuff back, because artifacts honestly made the game incredibly fun in Destiny 1.
The way they're talking about it, and the way that they show, like, that there's at least the work in progress screen that they showed for the Vex, the Eye of the Gate Lord. Does it kind of remind you guys of clan banners? Like maybe like a personalized version of the clan banner? A little bit?
Kind of. Like it has more slots. It kind of reminds me of the original ability trees from Destiny 1. Just where you have rows and rows of perks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which you eventually unlock to a different tier. And they were talking about how this is just kind of embracing more of that RPG aspect of it. Different builds and stuff like that. One of the things that's really promising is that they were talking about what if players get really attached to like a certain perk of one of these artifacts, and they said that they're very open to the idea if players really enjoyed a particular perk, they could potentially bring it forward. But we don't know exactly how we're gonna work around our way of these artifacts, but I'm super stoked to see them come back.
Yeah. I'm stoked for them, and I'm stoked for the fact that they're going to be refreshed every season, because it's going to give them a chance to improve the system versus us having to sit around with a system that we don't really like all that much, like the mods. It's just like,
I think that's
they've already said that they're going to be like,
point.
Change them up.
Yeah, they can, depending on how much of an impact the artifacts have on the game itself, which hopefully it's relatively decent. That's an incredible point, to that you can like kind of revamp it a little bit and work on it and use it differently throughout the different seasons and maybe cater it towards certain activities and what have you.
Yeah.
I fully
Cool.
expect it to cater towards certain
Yeah.
activities, and I'm hoping that we get like raid specific ones and we get crucibles
Mhm.
specific ones that help, you know, so we can mix and match. And I want a little bit of I want to have to think about what I use too. So I assume it's going to
Yeah.
be like a mod thing where like if you have one on and use it, like, you know, like maybe like the way, I don't know how it's used, I don't think a whole lot of details have been given. It's just pretty much what we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
We don't know like if it's going to be something where if you use it, lose it type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
as
would-
far
that
as
would-
we know,
that could be interesting.
it's just we get it, you know, and we can unlock different tiers and different perks on it. But at the end of the season, basically we trade it in for a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Like, because you want it for collection purposes, right? Like you want to look back on a season and be like, okay, this is what I was this time around. But I don't know.
Sure.
Like I see them kind of balancing season to season already, and I don't know. I'm excited to get more build on. I think right now is the most time in Destiny that I've spent looking at my loadout and being like, okay, so what do I need for this activity? And
Yeah.
to be able to do
Yeah.
that more now or in September, it's just gonna drive me nuts. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
the good thing about it is it's going to be time worthwhile or time
Yeah.
worth spending.
Yeah.
That's what I think
Yeah,
is exciting for me. I want to do that, but it's not really worthwhile. I don't even think it's worthwhile now, personally, to worry about the perks and whatnot on my armor. I don't have a whole
Mhm.
lot of different armor
I
builds.
think in the general aspect, I think you're correct.
yeah.
I
mean,
can
there's
run anything,
definitely-
and as long as I know how to play the activity and whatnot, I'm
You'll
Yeah.
do okay. There's nothing that's gonna make or break your raid experience as a teammate. I don't think.
hmm
yeah.
And I hope, with the sounds of things too, it sounds like we're gonna kind of be eased into that process
Mhm.
Yeah.
over time. It's not gonna be
Honestly-
like, boom.
Yeah, I just hope that all of the additions that we're seeing with Shadowkeep and like them embracing the more RPG aspect of the game, the more MMO aspect of the game, is just a very light precursor of whatever they have planned for the future of the game.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, like
Sure.
customizability, dude.
Mhm.
Bring it on.
That's the one reason why not even just playing, but like when I was able to like play with friends like The Division,
Yeah.
or even like something that I could stream, like I had to not, because I would literally spend 90% of my time in my inventory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, like, really, like, and it wasn't good content. And it, like, even when I'm playing with friends, they're all like, "Hey, let's go do the thing," and I'm like, "Oh well."
Wait, hold on. Let me
this-
spec
this
out
gun-
real quick.
Yeah, but like your specking out would take like 20 minutes, literally.
Hold on. I need this
Oh,
one
yeah.
percentage.
So I think there's definitely like a common, a good median point where hopefully I feel like Destiny could really hit the nail on the head, where like you can definitely spec out like that, but you can also just kind of like run in like we always have traditionally and
Mhm.
play Destiny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward. That's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah.
absolutely.
With that being said, shall we get into questions?
Would love
Yeah.
to.
Absolutely.
On the topic of Destiny, Butt Coffee has a question. So with Armor 2.0, will you guys be ditching the looks of regular armor drops and immediately transmogging to your favorite Eververse sets?
I mean,
Ooh, good
I'm
question.
definitely going to have my favorites. I don't know if they're necessarily from Eververse.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'd say
It's-
not necessarily.
yeah, it's confirmed that it's like just Eververse stuff, right? Or is it
Yes.
anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Just
just
Eververse
Eververse
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That has a universe.
So it's not really full transmog.
not really. Yeah.
It's just
I bet you
Eververse
won't get there
transmog.
soon.
Yeah.
Did they say anything about the raid armor?
No.
Can you transmog with that?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
There's no word. No.
I has the set.
Maybe at some point we'll see. So have you guys any of you guys played Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
No.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
So Assassin's Creed Odyssey adapted or adopted literally the same armor system that Destiny has. So it's moved into like an RPG type of game, but you have a helmet slot, you have gloves, chest, legs, and every you there's different variations. There's blues, there's greens, there's purples, and then there's yellows. With yellows obviously being exotic, but they added a universal transmog system to where, let's say for example, you get an exotic like gauntlet in Odyssey, you can press triangle and a list pops up of every single item you have owned in the game, and you
Oh,
can
wow.
change the visual aspect of that armor, even if it's
And
an exotic
keeps the
piece
same,
of
and it keeps the same traits, exotic
and it
traits.
keeps the exact same traits, the exact same stats. It's really, really cool. So if the, I think if the,
Is this Assassin's Creed?
that's Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I haven't played Assassin's Creed
Dude.
forever. Then holy shit!
It honestly, Odyssey is probably one of like my favorite Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
games. It doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed though. Honestly, I really feel like
My favorite
only
Assassin's
tied-
Creed that's not Assassin's Creed.
It's not
but a good name.
Assassin's Creed. I honestly think it was a marketing strategy just to sell the game, to tie it with the
Wow.
name Assassin's Creed, because it's super different. It's like mega open world. You have like a naval ship that you can upgrade. You can recruit people from anywhere in the land to work
Is
for
this
you.
the
and
one that
stuff like
was Roman based?
Yes,
Odyssey was Greek, right? Where you go
Or
to
Greek?
Atlantis?
Yeah.
Greek. Yes, sorry, Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was in that
Yeah.
right mind frame. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of like I wish eventually we get a system like that in Destiny. Because don't get me wrong, like I love my Astrocyte verse
Right.
to bits and pieces, but it does not fit how I want my character to look.
Man,
So,
I
yeah.
just got my character to like how it should look now. I got the cloak to drop from Iron Banner. I haven't been doing the thing where I'm holding off until I get a swarm of ravens. I was just gonna let it happen, like let that naturally drop for me eventually.
Yeah.
And I got a really nice cloak, a really good roll on my cloak for how I normally play, and I was like, man, what are the ornaments for this cloak again? Like I forgot, and I went back and it's the one that has like that huge hood that just kind of sits over, and it's got the like little wings that come off the side. My guardian with a little bit of amethyst veil tied onto that. I look evil as shit, and I love it. It looks so good. Like just
Yeah, that
some
was
of the
me.
Kami
I
Sara
totally.
stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about the Iron Banner, like the Warlock ornaments that you
Yeah.
can put like all the ornaments on the. And like now that I got the new Iron Banner helmet, you can go back to that. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but you know what I'm talking about, where it's
The
like
Lord
shiny.
Zed one.
Yes, that one. And I was like, yo, I forgot about that. I want to use that.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Next question is M. Mills asks, how exclusionary is the grind for the Tribute Hall, Moments of Triumph, and Solstice of Armor, and is it too much?
Ooh, all right, Mills. If you didn't play through Season of the Drifter, it's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna hurt because the Moments of Triumph requires you to, and I hate this triumph for everybody who didn't play Season of the Drifter. It's going to require you to complete a Gambit or win a Gambit Prime match wearing a full set of Notorious armor. And if you skipped Season of the Drifter, you're in for
3 weeks of grind.
3 weeks of grind, because the helmet requires you to build it from tier 1, and it's on a weekly lockout. So you're going to have to wait 3 weeks until you get the helmet for that.
Yeah.
So
That
I'm skipping that one. I didn't do all that. I didn't do Reckoning much, so I'm just not even worrying about that.
Honestly, I agree. Like I don't think this was a good triumph to add for the people who wanted the Moments of Triumph title.
But it rewards people who stuck with it.
I mean, it does, but at the same time, like people who decided,
it's attainable,
like, hey,
though. I don't disagree with it. It's attainable.
It's obtainable. I think I agree with Dan. I think the Moments of Triumph is something that like rewards players for, coming back and playing through like longevity, as far like through the entire period of time. And it's not like this is such an unobtainable thing. It's annoying, and I don't disagree with you, Nem. Like it's definitely like, all right, I got to go back, and as long as you do your stuff every week, like you'll get it eventually.
You gotta
and it's
play
just
Reckoning.
Yeah,
which is
that's
painful enough as it is.
It's painful with some of the things that they've changed to how supers work and with matchmaking, because you're not necessarily going to find a group of buddies that all want to run Reckoning at the same time anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's like
hard,
very incredibly
but-
rare. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super fat. Honestly, I was running the tier 3 Reckoning the other day. I had a
Yeah.
Warlock. I was on my Hunter running Tether with Orpheus, and it honestly wasn't that bad. You just have to have the right combination of people.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah, but it's
two
like
other
synergy.
friends that
You
know
have
what
to
they're
have
doing.
team
Yeah.
communication and everything.
You can have a Blueberry that literally, doesn't do anything.
Yeah. But
I think we 3-manned it one run.
yeah, we had I think we had 2 Tethers and 2 Wells when we eventually did it. And it was
Mhm.
like,
That'll
that
do
was
it.
kind of like the perfect combination.
Yeah, I think the tethers kind of took over for the Nova Bomb, the Skull
Yeah.
Nova Bombs that used to happen.
I mean, tethers. I think even when Skull was still effective,
Yeah, it was.
was
Mhm.
pretty necessary to have for the orb.
Yeah,
orb
the
regions,
group
but-
that I used to run the Reckoning with, obviously I just ran, Nova Bomb, and that was
Mhm.
easy. And then
Right.
we just like tried afterwards, and we were like, oof,
It's so bad, dude. They need
so hard.
to
Yeah.
bump that helmet back up a little bit.
But
Yeah,
It's-
they destroyed it. Yeah.
yeah.
but like with the tribute hall and everything, yeah, I don't know. I think
I think it's more doable for the tribute hall because
yeah,
it's just
for most of those
It's
things,
just regular activities you grind
Yeah.
through. And
Yeah.
honestly, every day I run through the Callus bounties. They're easy. And to
Yeah.
get most of the stuff done, not that bad. If you just are patient, you don't even have to spend a whole lot of materials. You can just do
Mhm.
the Callus bounties, and by now you're probably you should be done or close to done if you stuck with it.
yeah.
With
Right.
getting up to the 80% discount, and then it's like you should be able to get everything quick.
I will agree that like having all this, it's great to have content to grind. I love having content to grind. Having all this stuff kind of stack up right now is really hectic though, because
Oh yeah.
it can be confusing as to whether or not like exactly what to do next. And
Yeah.
it reintroduces that anxiety feeling a little for me, because it's just like, oh, what do I got to do today? Okay, here's the checklist, and then I unfurl like this long scroll,
The long scroll.
and just check them off one by one with a feather pen, and then try to move on with my day. And if I don't get something done, then I'm like, oh well, I missed out on that boon for Callus this week. But then again, I did get a couple of tributes that I can throw in there.
yeah.
Like, it's just a matter of prioritizing what you feel is important now. It's not so much about keeping up with the Joneses. Like, I think Destiny 2 probably pre-Forsaken was kind of
It
keeping
was.
up with your friends a little bit. Now it's more individualized about how you feel about the game and how you want to play it, and what achievements you're willing to go for.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
right.
very astute distinction. I agree with it. And I think that's why a lot of people are coming back.
I agree
Yeah.
because you're not wrong. You're not doing the wrong thing.
No.
Like one of my friends is going for the blacksmith like title or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, I
Dude,
believe in
go.
them, dude.
like that is all you, brother. Like you go do that, and like he got it the other day, and I'm like, dude, that's actually really cool because like for me, that's like difficult. Like I wouldn't want to go
Yeah.
through that, but you did it. So like I look at him and I'm like, dang, that's pretty dope that you have that. Like for all the people that have Unbroken, I'm like, wow, like, I'm
Oh.
impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And-
anytime I see somebody with Unbroken, I'm like, that person worked.
You
their
kind of like tip
fucking
your hat,
ass
like,
off. Yeah.
nice job,
Yeah.
like really, and that's what they're passionate about. All the people that have Unbroken for me are like passionate, hardcore PvP players, and I'm like, you deserve that, right? So it's like all down to like what you want to invest in, what you're passionate about in the
Yeah.
game, and then you're able to. What's cool is that you're able to like showcase that to the community. I
Mhm.
love titles, by the way. I think they're one of the coolest additions to the game in the history of the game. But yeah, I think Dan, it's perfect. Like you can just make it your own game at to a certain extent, and I don't think there's not direction.
Right.
With like the events and like all the other like the different events that come out in the gear and whatever, but like it's definitely a play your way, and then kind of when something happens like an event, kind of like regroup with your friends and go do the thing at hand. So
Right.
it's cool.
Final question for the night. If you had to change one thing about Iron Banner, what would it be? I know mine immediately.
And I know mine too.
I don't.
You guys go first. 'Cause I'm
ahead,
thinking
Dan.
about it.
If it rotated between Clash and Control, it would be okay.
I'm gonna add to yours
Do it.
whenever you're ready. Don't let me cut you off.
No, I'm done.
I I want Iron Banner to have its own game mode.
Yeah.
And I want it to only be for the Iron Banner. I don't want it to be added into quick play or even in private matches. I want this to be Iron Banner. I want it to be a specific game mode, period. So it gives people something to look forward to. Unless it's doo-doo trash, then they won't look forward to it. But I want it to be like
that game mode.
Doo-doo trash.
Doo-doo
Yo,
trash?
you guys want to go
My
hit up
favorite
some
game
doo-doo
mode.
trash.
No
Doo-doo
super.
trash scrims. Like, let's get it. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a long period of time now. I think the event itself, regardless of its future, would benefit from it being its own. I don't know what, like something like Rift, or I want it to be like its own thing, like a brand new event that's competitive enough but fun enough to bring in, like normal players, but obviously be like an end game PvP, activity. But that's me.
So I was talking with a couple of pals a few nights ago, and we were playing Iron Banner, and we were talking about literally the same topic right now. This, if Iron Banner had its own thing, and I think Bungie has done a really, really good job in separating the feel of Iron Banner versus Crucible. Because I mean, in Destiny 1, it was literally just PvP. There was no distinction between the two, except that you got different themed armor. But now you have like the Iron Banner themed medals, Saladin voices over the matches, and you have the triple cap zone with like the wolves howling.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like it's made its own distinction in that sense. But if it had its own game mode, like incorporating, and this is what we were talking about, it's like imagine like a type of game mode where it's almost, kind of like PvP with, imagine like the last boss of the Rise of Iron campaign, like that Siva looking boss fight, and then like having to use like one of the axes, but making that an objective based game of
so
like
Gambit.
No.
Like instead of having a
almost like a
donkey
king
order,
getting-
you gotta like.
I think I have
grab the axe,
like
then you can
where
go
you're
ham
going
the
with
axe
it,
or
Nem.
something.
Yeah,
Almost
like
like
you
a
get
king
to a
of the
certain.
hill.
Okay, or you get
Yeah,
to
it's
a
almost like
certain
a-
kill threshold where you can grab the axe and slam it down on a thing or something.
Yeah. Because I mean, the axes that they introduced for like the Archon's Forge in that last mission were really fun.
Yeah,
And
those were kind of
Bungie's
iconic.
And Bungie's really good about implementing them in like different activities and stuff like that. So I don't know. I definitely think it should be its own thing for sure.
Yeah, regardless of what the game mode is, it should.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a rehashed like Capture the Flag or Rift or something.
Or-
Like
I think it should be the opposite of Mayhem. It should be called Calm Them, and you don't have any supers.
What if it? So
Well, that's a whole different
remember-
conversation, T. It's a good point though.
Remember Crimson Doubles?
Yeah.
How you have the Heartbroken buff?
Mhm.
What if you had that in a 6v6?
So like elimination style?
Yeah.
You're saying like the more people that are dead, the people that are alive get the buffs.
Yeah. In the, like
That would suck for eventually the person that's against up a 1v6.
That's
I mean,
true.
can you imagine?
That's true. But
you get like drizzled on by.
But that was one of the things that in D1 and now in D2 that I enjoy most about Iron Banner. I'm kind of passively playing the Iron Banner quest line, right? Like I'm not going for anything in particular with it. I'm just kind of like, if I complete it, cool. If I don't, also cool. But most of the time it's an excuse to hang out with 6 of my buddies and go do some weird shit out in the Crucible. And because it has a different matchmaking than quick play, it feels more challenging. It feels like I'm going into comp with 6 people personally.
You feel like you're going into a PvP event where other people that are going into Iron Banner are like, I'm going to play Iron Banner, not just casually pew pew quick play.
Right. And like, but that was always the thing, was like trying to do that, and then we'd go on like Destiny Clan Warfare or something and try to outdo other clans in the rating. Like, and that was like purely like a thing that we threw into there. Maybe if there was a ranking system for something like that in game, that would be cool. Maybe that would be the thing that would set it apart, is like, okay, well, this Iron Banner, it's all based on clan rankings. So if you're within
Ranked
like
PvP.
I mean, if you're in like, if your clan is in the top 150 clans, you get X reward. If something along those lines.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So,
I think doesn't Division 2 do something like that with their clans?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Rewards for being like top clans. Yeah.
So
I'd grind that out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would make it.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but like I feel like, and I think Nem, hit it when he talked about like they have. I think it's more of like the ambiance, right? Like the vibe that Iron Banner gives off, because realistically, it's Control, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's a little bit different, and I mean the control points look different, what have you. But like I find myself like seeing in the TWAB, it's Iron Banner time. I'm like, sweet, like I get excited about it, even though there's not really much reason. To get, like it's not like I'm going for a weapon or armor really, and I don't have any reason to be excited, but it's like a mixture of what Nem said, it giving like it's a little bit different enough to make it feel like an event, and then Dan's like, yo, I get to hang out with my buds. It seems cool, but I think there's definitely room to improve on that notion, that feeling.
Yeah. So
Well,
I don't know.
right. I think that's the show, guys.
Nice.
So as well.
Well, wow, it's hot, dude.
I know, dude.
I'm hot
I'm in the
too.
same boat.
It's hot. With that
Is it
being
actually
said,
hot where you guys are right now? Like
well, in my room it's pretty hot. But I don't know how we're
Lights,
looking outside.
computers,
It's been
monitors.
relatively warm.
I'm gonna make up a word. I don't, as far as I know, it doesn't have a meaning, but it has a feeling behind it, and that word is smemme.
It sounds so disgusting, Dan. Why?
That's what this room feels like. Smemme.
I am going to Urban Dictionary, and it's going to be a word, and it's going to the definition.
Yeah, I'm gonna not Google that because I'm gonna see some stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want
Yeah,
to
let's
see.
not.
I would not do that on a regular
Type that in
browser.
right
Maybe an
now.
incognito tab.
So how do you spell that, Dan?
I don't know. It just came to me when I was thinking.
SMEHMEH.
Let's
Yeah.
not find out.
Let's not.
That
Yeah.
is episode 207 of the Planet Destiny podcast. T and Sean, thank you so much for joining us.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Thank you
Blast.
for having us.
For those of you in chat, Sean Bartley and T are two members of our stream team here in Planet Destiny. And if you hit their commands down below, I see our good old Dan Flannelty has hit the buttons for you guys. So you can follow them over on their social media and their personal Twitch pages if you want to drop them a follow if you haven't. So, Sean, starting with you, bud, where you at?
Cool. Well, thanks guys for having me on. It's always a blast. You can find me twitch.tv/Sean Bartley. Reformatting my schedule right now. So you can go find me on Twitter at Sean Bartley, where I will be announcing the new schedule for Twitch. And then in the meantime, just letting you guys know where I'm live. Actually, we need to update my commands on I'm on Instagram. I'm trying to be more active there as well. It's actually Instagram is Sean Bartley Plays. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
I forgot to update
Okay.
that.
We'll
We'll
get that edited.
note to that. But that's where you can find me on the internet.
Perfect. T-Bot.
All right. Oh,
Where you at?
thank you guys again for having me. It's always a pleasure. And you can find me streaming live on Twitch Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern. Wake up with me at twitch.tv/IamTbot. And I am on Twitter at Iam_Tbot. And one of these days, I'm going to get that 10-year-old to relinquish his Twitter account, and I will have the full IamTbot.
T-Bot,
I
if
believe,
I'm waking up with you, I want breakfast.
Yo, I'll cook it right now. Let's do it.
He even
believe-
wears his robe. He wears his robe. So yeah,
I
That gets
also
me every
Literally, it's right here, guys. It's just hanging right next to me at all
there it
times.
is. We got it
I
right.
occasionally get cold, and I just put it on because I stream in a basement.
I think that also qualified as a threat against a child.
I didn't. You just said it. I didn't say it. I'm not threatening a child.
No, he's
I
gonna
may-
relinquish his Twitter account to me.
I may write a sternly worded letter to the people at Twitter that are just letting this Twitter account like wither and die and sit there.
I'm
It's like,
gonna call up the Twitters.
Start up an LLC, bud. You're probably better off.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Dan.
Oh, hi. Where
Where you
can't
at?
you find me right now?
So
So you
you're
can find
everywhere, dude.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DanFinity. You can find me there 4 days a week. That's on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DanFinity, but the I's are L's. You can find SideQuest Sunday, my in-depth interview podcast, where I've talked to everybody that is here right now in at least one episode for longer than an hour about things that probably aren't Destiny. So you should check that out. This week we have Awoken Queen. She's an excellent affiliate and plays Destiny a lot. I also started a project called Destiny Digest, which has had like some major traction lately, and that's
super
really
cool.
It is
Awesome.
daily, Destiny daily news, and it started as a project to kind of help me stay up to date on this stuff here, and it's grown pretty rapidly in like 2 weeks, so it's pretty neat. Check it out.
Nice. And of course, you can find me over at twitter.com/nemplays and twitch.tv/nemplays. If you want to get a hold of me and chat or anything, Twitter is probably the best place to do so. I usually tend to post silly screenshots of, the scenery of Destiny and different, gameplay videos and stuff like that. So currently working on a Tarba review for the channel. So stay tuned for that.
I keep thinking people are saying terrible, but in trying to do a bad impression of
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
Wow.
Wow.
God, Dan. Never change.
Never change is right.
Never change. But
Terrible.
we're going to go ahead and call it an episode there. Thank you so much for watching episode 207 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We'll see you around next time, Guardians. Bye, everybody.